I got this video sent to me yesterday from a potential client who got in touch because she wants to work on a very similar issue. So she asked if the advice in this is okay. Oofed. Yeah, that's quite a harsh yank. And then he steps in the dog's way. You can see from the body language of the dog's quite confused. He doesn't understand. He hasn't been asked to do any alternative behavior. He simply went towards the door to engage, and this unfamiliar man made a loud, sharp noise, tightened a rope around his neck, and entered his personal space. So let's carry on.
Yeah, I'm not being harsh to him, but I am saying, look, this is nothing in comparison to a car hitting you.
Okay, I'm just going to pause that at the car hitting you. Two things there. First of all, he again went to like rattle the leash. The thought of anticipating pain can often be worse than the pain itself. Anyone who is afraid of getting injections knows the same thing. It's not actually as bad. So rattling that lead after tugging it and choking the dog is considered a punishment. It's considered a scary stimulus to add to the situation. And that dog doesn't understand why. So that rattle, the dog was sitting well behaved and got punished. So very confusing for a dog.
And look, this
tugging the lead again
is nothing in comparison to a car hitting you.
Okay.
Running over to the wrong dog,
or running up to the wrong dog or the wrong person.
Of dogs, or him getting lost.
Okay, so this is really important in sales techniques. So really pushing the fear of loss or fear of a terrible situation is a great way to sell things. And if you're trying to sell your methods, telling people that if you don't do what I tell you, your dog will die is a strong statement. And for most of us pet lovers, is enough for us to comply. Is enough for us to say, well, yeah, he is right. Tugging the dog's lead is less painful and less of a detrimental thing to my family than my dog running out and dying. Now, this is where straight off, immediately, any dog trainer worth their salt would introduce management. We would not allow a situation where a dog can straight get out the door and run away. It's where we talk about, obviously, fencing in most situations. If you live in a house that you don't have a garden, it's where you can get baby gates. It's where you can get attachments to the gates. It's where even when the dog is getting freedom, they're on a long line that is attached to something, preferably on a harness as well, so that they can't escape. And we would then obviously train the dog as well. But the chances are, in reality, if that dog did, by mistake, human error, get out that door, the chances of him dying in a car accident, in a road traffic accident, is minimal. So we'll carry on.
Yeah, the reality is I'd rather give a momentary bit of discomfort, walk away and walk towards the door, baby, a momentary bit of discomfort to know that he's not going to rush out this door.
Okay, a momentary discomfort does not equate a dog learning for life never to exit a doorway. So that's a lie, and that's a dangerous lie, and that's an unfair lie to the dog and to the dog's owner. Because if it's a momentary discomfort, it will not work. We know that. He knows that. And the dog owner is going to say, okay, well, yeah, a momentary discomfort, I suppose my dog can take that. The dog knows it's not a momentary discomfort if he's getting choked enough to stop him from doing the behaviour of exiting the door.
Yeah, it's all well and good boy giving him a treat, good boy giving him a treat, good boy giving him a treat. But when that treat outside is more rewarding than the treat I'm offering, we're screwed. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a really important point too. So he's comparing positive reinforcement-based trainers with simply just giving the dog a treat. That's not what we do with positive reinforcement. We pair a behaviour with a consequence. He's doing the exact same thing. He's pairing the behaviour of going out the door with getting unexpectedly choked. We're pairing the behaviour of staying inside the door with good things happening. There will be errors. There will be times that your dog is more motivated to go against what your request is. So you might train a dog through positive reinforcement. Sit, stay, and I'll open the door. You do a sit, stay after 52 repetitions, and as you do that, 3 foxes are running across the road. Highly probable the dog will bolt out and chase, if your dog likes to chase foxes. If you do minor discomfort, and your dog learns that every time I try to exit the door without being told yes or go, I get a momentary discomfort or a minor discomfort. When those 3 foxes are running outside, your dog's going to bolt too. However, what's also important to consider is the relationship between the dog and the owner. In 100 years, none of us will be talking about choke chains and prong collars other than talking about the history of the dog training world. They won't be there. We don't talk about our kids getting beaten in school anymore. It doesn't happen. We know better. We do better. Same will happen with the dog training world. We're in a struggle right now because we're trying to protect the dogs of this world that are being subjected to trainers like Southend Dog Trainer, like the Dog Daddy. We are trying to protect these dogs and these innocent, naive dog owners who don't know the difference and assume a dog trainer is a dog trainer. It is not, and this is why. This is why we have to protect the dogs.
So when I do videos like this, somebody always show the force-free way or the positive-only way, right? With treats, that's great, well done. Yeah, you show when there's no real distraction on the other side of the door, but whatever treat I'm offering has to be more valuable than what the treat on the other side of the door. If that's
okay, pause that. And so whatever treat we are offering, he is absolutely correct, has to be more motivating than what's on the other side of the door. On his side, whatever aversion he is adding to the situation has to be frightening or intimidating or painful enough to stop the dog from wanting to chase what's on the other side. So I hope that people are starting to see the seesaw. You can either try your very best to get your dog to do what you want to do by adding nice stuff when they do good behaviors, or you can try your very best to get your dog to do what you want them to do by adding scary, painful, intimidating stimuli to stop the dog. So we're both doing the same thing. Neither one of us will ever honestly say our method will be flawless. That is why positive reinforcement-based trainers are harping on about management. When you can train, you train. When you can't, you manage. I will let my dog off the lead when I'm pretty confident that we're not going to bump into anything that it will be more motivating than my recall rewards. However, I won't put him off the lead if we're in a real busy park and there's kids everywhere and he's a very social dog.
It's a bird dog, oh, that's way more fun. If it's a dog, that's way more fun. Yeah? And look, you see how, take a few steps forward, Phoebe.
See the body language of the other dog. See the body language. Hadn't spotted that. Oofed. So all I'm trying to say here is open your eyes. We're not out there to hoodwink or to trick anyone. This argument that positive reinforcement-based trainers are getting dogs killed is wrong. And I will counter that argument with working with many dogs who have been trained with aversion and with painful techniques and are screwed up from that too. Often with dogs, you'll have different personality types, same as us. Some humans will take a beating, some humans will take being bullied, some humans will take horrible situations and sit there and put up with it. Other humans won't. Other humans will fight back, other humans will rebel, and other humans will refuse to tolerate it and refuse to back down. I'm a human that will refuse to back down. Or dogs are the same. We can have two dogs from the same litter. You hit one of them with a stick repeatedly, he sits there whimpering. You hit the other one, he takes that stick and he takes your leg. So using punishment is risking the dog protecting itself and standing up for itself. And that video is a lie. That training was not effective to stop that dog from running at the door. That training was very much smoke and mirrors. That dog clearly has been sitting there for a long period of time. There's nothing to motivate that dog to go out. The dog's body language outside the door is somewhat upsetting to me. And what we saw there was a show. It's a shame.